Welcome in, folks. It's Friday, and that means that we are back on We Have the High Ground for your Mandalorian review. That's right. It's Season 2, Episode 3. Oh, boy. I'm your host, Colin, and joining me, as always, on the other side is Bogz. How's it going, bud?
Yes, indeed, sir. Another great episode today. Obviously, spoilers in this episode. We're going to be spoiling the heck out of this, and I can't wait to because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, we've got a lot of answers, which I was happy with. A lot of questions still, of course, but excellent episode, and I can't wait to break it down. And I just want to say as well, like, thank you for people who have watched our previous episodes. We've got kind of, from where I've come from, it's not really, I've never really done a kind of, a Star Wars show before. I've always wanted to. So, I mean, getting the views that we are getting, extremely grateful and proud. I will request, though, that can we please like the video?
Press
Because
the like button.
first, I mean, for the last two episodes, we've got nearly 6,000 views and we've got maybe 150 likes between them. So obviously, the more, it's like, the more algorithms we see, the more it pops up on other people's videos and stuff, help us out. It's free to do so. Just give it a like. But yeah, I appreciate the view count and stuff. So it's been really surprising, but yeah, it makes us feel validated that, okay, like, we should have done this a long time ago.
Well, here we are. We're doing it now. What we got to talk about is Chapter 11, The Heiress, which,
Yes.
I knew exactly what was coming, and I didn't know. As soon as I woke up to fire emojis from Bogz, and then I saw The Heiress, I was like, oh, this can only go one way. And she has landed. The rightful queen of Mandalore herself, Bo-Katan, played by the glorious Katie Sackhoff, has officially landed on our screens in The Mandalorian. Bogz, your first thoughts at 10 minutes and 48 seconds into the episode when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yes, like finally, like, because it made me think, like, Katie Sackhoff is, I would say that she's pretty much like a sci-fi icon in kind of her catalog that she's got. So yeah, definitely. I did see her Twitter yesterday though. From when we were filming this, it was she did say, like, is it Friday yet, or I can't wait for Friday, and it got like loads of retweets and likes. So I was like, oh, okay, what's happening here?
I saw something similar. I saw Sasha Banks had tweeted something,
Okay.
and then Gina Carano had liked it. So it's like, oh,
Something's
okay,
coming.
she's in the
Something's coming.
family, right? So it's like, oh, someone who's famous for that is Jonas, the new Chewbacca.
Yeah.
He is so in on, so like, if you are in the Star Wars family, he literally will Chewbacca you
It's great.
on the internet. He will make you feel like you're just getting a big old hug from Chewie. He's like,
Yeah.
come on, man, come on, let's go.
He's like a fan, right?
He is, and he's like, I just want to let you know that this is all cool. Everything's fine. Situation normal.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
back to the episode.
Yeah, but that the reveal of the Mandalorian is dropping in, and obviously it's her straight away. You get by a helmet, of course, it's her. And yeah, like, it just made me think, like, it's about time. There you go.
Knock Sabine over. Sorry, Sabine.
Yeah, she's coming. She'll be fine, don't worry. But yeah, it's just that kind of validation of, like, finally the rumors. This is the stuff that we want to see. The tie-ins to the other lore. Tie-ins to the dark saber, tie-ins to the Jedi, tie-ins to Ahsoka. It's all coming through this episode. Finally, yes, I absolutely loved it, and just watching these guys in action, it was awesome. And finally, she gets a live action opportunity because she's a sci-fi icon, and yeah, I was thoroughly pleased to see her, and she looked great as well. She actually looks, got the same hair, physically looks like the cartoon or the animated version of it. So yeah, thoroughly happy to see her.
And watching them come down, just taking care of those pirates who have the voices of the crew of the Black Pearl. apparently.
Okay. Yeah, there's
And
a lot of voices that like there's like a purposefully sometimes they repeat the same dialogue. And it's like, oh, we're meant to kind of that's like an Easter egg. But I haven't
right.
checked who a lot of them are, but I did notice a lot of that in this episode. So I
I
can't wait
love
to
seeing
discover that.
all the different species as well. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big thing I loved about the
A lot of
Clone
aliens
Wars.
and
Oh, loved it. And seeing the Mon Calamari was just like, mm,
when
and then the
he
little
shakes
sound
his
that the
head.
child makes at the end when he fixes the ship, he's like, those darn Mon Cala-" He goes, it almost sounds like he like kinda like
Yeah.
sticks his tongue out at him like, I don't like you. Uh, but everything about this, I mean, it starts out with obviously Frog Lady reuniting with her husband, and that
Mhm.
was so cute. Obviously,
There
the
was a
yeah, and then it seems like the child was very sad to see his prospective meals go away. He
yeah,
can no longer commit genocide on that poor frog community.
yeah.
But it was nice to see a little follow up to that, and then boom, bang. It's kind of what's weird is that the frog guy puts him in the bar, and then the bar ends up putting him like in immediate danger so that the Mandalorians have to come save him. So was it the right contact? Did he like did
Yeah, in a roundabout way,
yeah,
somehow.
so maybe
Um, but before that, just the when the kind of ship was coming through the atmosphere, I thought that was very Revenge of the Sith esque. That seemed
another
like
happy
just a little,
landing.
yeah, or maybe Clone Wars esque in season 7. It was just like their live action kind of version of it, and yeah, yeah, I enjoyed that. I just wanted to double
Oh, I
check. Yeah,
laughed out loud
when?
when the ship fell in the water.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
right. That's what
I
I was thinking. Yeah.
just
And then Mon
hollered.
Calamari, his reaction, watching it like, and then just being like, no,
Well,
like,
obviously, he's like, we're gonna
uh-huh.
go pluck this thing out with our
Yeah,
half AT-AT that
yeah,
we've,
exactly.
that we've rigged
It
up.
seemed like he does that every day, all day, just this
Uh,
useless humanoid, can't fly his ship. Is exactly. I absolutely laughed out loud. That was great. But yeah, that was another character. I thought, oh, who's voicing this one? Because it's clearly like, yeah, we're supposed to kind of find out or whatever. So I'm sure we'll find out throughout the week. But and by the way, you do know Bradley D. Baker, who voices the clones, basically, he voices the Frog Lady, even though she only makes noises. She doesn't actually speak. Yeah, that's him. The- Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. They land in the
I'm getting pretty good. I just walk around my house.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they land in the bar, which yeah, he kind of obviously sets. Is that a setup? Is it not? I mean, was that initial meeting kind of genuine or and what's going on? And I did like the obviously the child eating the soup, and he seemed quite bored of the soup. And then something jumps out at him. I was like, "What? Stop playing with your food." Yeah,
It's like, can you
exactly.
just use the force a couple times? Like,
Yeah,
use your
exactly.
claws. Like,
Yeah, it's great seeing all the fish species in the bar and all the restaurant, where the canteen. Um, yeah, I found that really funny. And then obviously that they jump on this sail barge and they're traveling across a few miles away to find the other Mandalorians. Um, so and then they kind of turn on him, right? They turn on the child, feed him to this.
those are
I think
Quarren, by the way. Before I get slaughtered on the internet by Star Wars folks, those are Quarren that are the tentacly Davy Jonesy looking
oh
dudes.
yeah, I was wondering that, yeah, because they're all over this, aren't they? So
Yeah.
yeah, and then they
And that
screw him over.
Plo Koon species, or is that a
I don't
different
believe
species?
so. I think it's a different species because he has like an eye thing, and I don't think he has tentacles like that. Um, but yeah, they've obviously tried to feed the child to this sea creature, which I didn't really see coming. I for some reason I thought they were genuine. But yeah, it was a good plot convenience for the
He's a
Mandalorians to
Keldor.
come in. Okay. Yeah. So, because when he jumped into the water, I did think, oh my god, he's screwed here. Like, how's he gonna get the child from that beast? He's kind of struggling to breathe. Like, and then yeah, they've kind of come and saved the day. And I kind of love the way how they fight so militaristic. and organized, and you could tell like how experienced they are. You could tell they fought in
He's
wars and things like
shook
that.
throughout this entire episode. He is
He's
not the baddest dude in the
no,
room right
he's not.
now, and he looks around like
He's tame compared to the violence that they use shocks him.
he
Like he is not as
when they
battle
continuously
hardened.
shoot the troopers, like when they shoot them while
Yeah.
they're
I
down,
mean,
like
she's got her
double
knife,
tap.
like she stabs it into people's necks. First of all, it's a Disney show. I was like, whoa, like I've not seen normally in Clone Wars or Rebels, they kind of cut away or they cut someone's kind of gun, whatever.
Ah! They're
Yeah, yeah,
showing like a
exactly.
scream or something.
I was quite shocked. I mean, they're fully showing it, and I was like, okay.
And the
But
worst
yeah,
you
like
see is like Zeb would like throw somebody, but you wouldn't
yeah,
see Zeb throw somebody. You would just see their body hit the wall from someone else's perspective, and then Zeb's like,
okay. Or like
like, it was too
Ezra
much.
Kana would like with the lightsaber like slice their blaster and then like kick them. Like kick them off of
Right. Oh
a
my.
balcony.
Okay,
Like
man.
yeah.
No, you're gonna slice them in
Uh,
half.
exactly. But yeah, like the when they've landed and they're they've called him brother straight away. I was like, oh, okay. They kind of straight away embraced them. They immediately took their helmets off. Um, so I kind of liked that straight away because I knew that would kind of come to. Um, so I knew that the plot kind of issue around whether Din Djarin can take his helmet off or not would kind of get addressed this episode because I was glad. I was glad they kind of got into that straight away. Oh, he's one of them. Okay, one of what? What do you mean? You're a part of a cult of Mandalorians. Basically extremists. Basically, ones like I wouldn't say I want to say slavery, but like slavery esque, where you're forced to wear your helmet all the time. Believe in these kind of traditions and stuff, which are too extreme for the kind of usual. Because Mandalorians like they're constantly at war with each other. They have a lot of civil wars, that within their clans and things like that. So I'm not surprised that they're kind of separate ones that have kind of maybe a bit more extreme than the other ones or that kind of thing. So that was finally after 10, 11 episodes, a good explanation as to why he can't take his or why he hasn't taken his helmet off. Because since Clone Wars Rebels, whatever, we've always known Mandalorians to take their helmets off. He's the first one not to, and we've finally got a good explanation as to why. So yeah, so like I said, a lot of answers this episode, which I was super happy with. Um, Great action and more questions, but finally we're getting some answers. So all around, excuse me, all rounder, loved it.
I'm absolutely like just in love with the textures of their costumes.
Hmm.
Like everything
Yep.
about them felt genuine. It
Yep.
felt natural.
Hmm.
Um, it it felt right. It felt Star Wars. Whereas there is something like that's Beskar, but that's not. You can tell how new his is. You can
Yeah.
tell there's a wornness to it. It's perfect. I saw it. Like I was just like I came out of the
Doesn't look
episode.
doesn't look like animation-ish or like it doesn't yeah, like you said, they look battle worn. Um they look like experienced and yeah, the way they use their armors, the way they fight, the way they communicate with each other, I loved it all. Um Yeah, particularly Katie Sackhoff. I thought she looked great. And I mentioned before that Gina Carano is one of the kind of better female action stars I've seen. But Katie Sackhoff is 100% up there as one of the best I've ever seen, like top 10, because yeah, she's been in multiple sci-fi shows over the years. Absolute legend, and yeah, she's shown it in this as well. Great action star, and I loved her from start to finish. Yeah, she was great.
Oh damn. It wouldn't let me do that. I just tried to like share some of the images from the show and it wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, okay.
Disney Plus was like,
Not
I don't know
yet.
about that. It
Well,
did not want me to do that.
so after the ship, obviously they go back to the bar or to the canteen, wherever it's called, and they're talking with their helmets off. They're
I
they're
would have
buying
talked
him
to
a
the
drink.
bartender.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or in fact, before that, they've obviously seen the other. I forgot the fish species that you mentioned.
Warren.
Their brother, the one that they've kind of killed on the ship, and they've kind of come to save him again and the child. So I think the least he can do is sit down and speak to them. So again, great to see them. Yeah, just seeing Mandalorians in live action with the jetpacks and weapons and everything is very. I still find it surreal. Um, so yeah, and then obviously they've gone to the canteen, sitting down, and then yeah, they just start to get into things. They explain, talking about Mandalore, saying it's cursed, saying, they can't go back because of the Empire. They're trying to obtain weapons to get a hold of it again. And, he's mentioned the Jedi. And I'm like, yes, how many things are they hitting this episode? They're hitting, you know, they're hitting the Mandalorians, they're moving the plot forward, they're having discussion about the Jedi. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, a bit of yeah, just the discussions there, um and mentioning the empire and yeah, I love that scene, because it's like finally like a someone's helping him with moving forward in finding the Jedi. Um, he's like, she even asked him, do you even know who the Jedi are? I found it interesting. He said no, because, he said, may the force be with you as well. Clearly he doesn't know what that means. He's
He
just
doesn't
a
know what it
thing.
means at
Yeah.
all.
It's just a thing that the New Republic say. So yeah, that was super interesting. Um, yeah, so I love that, and I noticed the music started to it kind of had new themes as well at this point. The music seemed like rather
When
kind of
he throws
electro-ish.
the smoke bomb and they step through the smoke bomb, I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, now we're in, like, some Trent Reznor, like, some electronic sounds. This is getting awesome." Ludwig's like, "Oh, bet.
Killing it.
I've been waiting for this. Been waiting for this."
So yeah, from the canteen, they've had a kind of overlooking the kind of ship they want to take over, or the Empire vehicle. Um, yeah, and like they're kind of all four of them on the jetpacks gone over. That's when the kind of new themes I'm hearing. I'm
That's what I'm
thinking, okay,
trying to
wow.
show. This is the image I have up, is them flying up at it. The 4 jetpacks flying at the ship. You're like, "Oh, we're
Oh
done
yeah, and
here."
before that, he's left obviously the child with the frog lady and her husband. I'm thinking, oh no, is that the right move? Like, what are you doing? Like, please behave, please behave. He told him, please behave, because I thought if you just like leave him alone for that thing for 1 second with the eggs,
This child was
and
just witness to, like, 8 counts of murder in the back alleys, and then you're
yeah,
like, "Let's go leave it with this family."
exactly, and yeah, you saw one of them was hatched straight away. I thought, oh, he's having that, like no way. Um, but yeah, that was super cool. And then obviously they've landed on the kind of Empire barge thing, and there's something about looking inside of it. The interior design of an Imperial vehicle is so I'll never get bored of it. Seeing stormtroopers in an
Well, you sound like
Imperial
one of
vehicle
them.
is just say again? Well,
You sound like one of them,
yeah, I
so
do.
that
Yeah, yeah,
helps.
exactly, exactly. And obviously seeing the sorry, you're gonna have to remind me of his name, the man in black from Lost.
Titus Weller.
Yeah, as a Imperial officer, great casting call. He plays a great villain.
Welliver.
Um,
Titus Welliver.
okay, yeah, Titus. Yeah, he's obviously great kind of villainous character in all the kind of TV stuff that he does. So awesome to see him back in Star Wars, and like I said, seeing the stormtroopers in and just the interior of the kind of Imperial vehicle. I never ever ever get bored of that.
How about the 4 of them sitting on the ship, scoping it out beforehand, and they're
That was
all
cool.
just sitting there on the ship? You're like,
Chilling.
"Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, this is sick." It felt like I was watching, like, Sons of Anarchy, and they're, like, all sitting on their
on the
choppers,
bikes. Yeah,
on the bikes, just, like, all hanging out.
having a beer. Yeah.
Yeah, just sipping on some spotchka, which I realized is just scotch and vodka put together. So it's
Okay.
just spotchka,
Sounds like it. Yeah.
yeah, like, and I hear it gets you pretty turnty. So, tip one back
Okay.
for us back at the cantinas.
So yeah, when they've landed on this Imperial vehicle, like I've noticed straight away how aggressive the other Mandalorians are compared to Din Djarin, who's kind of sitting back, who's kind of watching them kind of stab people, shoot people point blank. Um,
He does this to droids. He doesn't do this like this normally to people.
yeah, unless he's forced
Right.
to unless he's being kind of attacked. Not he's the one kind of steal, take something, steal something, that kind of thing. So yeah, and then they've said, "Oh, there's at least 10 of them," and to the Imperials. I was like, "Oh, no,"
I
like,
read
yeah,
4
and
body
seeing
counts,
that
sir.
whole, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought they were great as well. The other two, the two pilots, um, just love seeing the Empire, the kind of remnants of the Empire still going, and they're kind of shooting their way through the ship. Um, he's mentioned that that they kind of find the other fleet so they can get assistance. So they're trying to jump to hyperspace.
The fleet. So this is the
Yeah.
remnants of so we've been a little, I wouldn't say confused, but there's been like conflicting arguments or conflicting opinions on
Mm,
is Moff Gideon part of the old stages of the empire that we see in
mm,
um Battlefront 2's story,
mm,
who get
mhm.
the last call
Yeah.
from the Sentinel,
Mhm,
the messages that show up to people from the Emperor. Um, or is he part of the First Order? Is all of that the same? There's this, we are in that lost bit of time where stuff isn't all kind of lining up.
mhm.
But at the same time, we do know that the Emperor is back in the shadows pulling
Exactly.
strings.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me to figure out how on his own is Gideon, right? Like how
How
far
high up is
off,
he?
how high up is he? How far off on his own is he? Has he taken this dark saber thing too far? Is there somebody above him who's like, is it could be we could see what's his face's dad. Um
Mm.
who's Harry Potter guy from the redhead, Hux. Could see Hux's
Okay.
dad. Hux's
Okay.
dad was a very high ranking Imperial
I'm
and then he
thinking
turned
long
into
shot.
the First Order.
Okay. Yeah. My
Um
long shot theory.
Ray Sloan.
No. So my long shot theory is obviously Ahsoka. We'll come to Ahsoka later, but she is obviously going to appear. The last canon kind of story theme we have with Ahsoka is her and Sabine are 4 years after Return of the Jedi, are 4 years have gone to set to look for Ezra. Okay.
Right.
So so this series is set 4 years after Return of the Jedi. Okay. So at this point, where is Ahsoka? Okay. Has she found, so when Ahsoka turns up, we're gonna obviously know where she's been, what she's been doing, because we have to find that out, right? If this is the same period as the whole Ezra missing thing, looking for Ezra missing thing. So if they have Ezra, they surely, like, maybe, hopefully anyway, they must have had or managed to, yeah, if they've got him, like, Thrawn would be there as well, you'd think. So I'm thinking maybe my long shot theory is Thrawn is back with some kind of remnant of the Empire with Moff Gideon. Because if Ezra's back, if Ahsoka's with Ezra, then Thrawn will be with the Empire. That's
You're
my theory
assuming that
anyway.
Ezra's there though.
I'm assuming there because we're gonna know, or we're gonna have some kind of update on Ahsoka, like where has she been? Because we don't know where she's been since Rebels, right? So, like, what has she been doing? Like, she's gonna give her backstory or give some kind of, like Bo-Katan just has, right? She's just giving her backstory, saying, "Oh, okay, I've been kind of forced off Mandalore by the Empire. I've been trying to get back, trying to obtain weapons, armor, things like that." So Ahsoka's gonna give the same update, and the last known story we know of her is she was looking for Ezra. So I'm hoping, Filoni being involved as well, I'm hoping they're gonna give some update on Ezra, and Thrawn is now tied with Ezra. So it's an absolute long shot. But like I said, the possibilities now that we have, anything's in play. With Ahsoka, you know, um, does Ahsoka know Luke? Is there a tie in there? Like, what is okay? I understand that they're trying to take Baby Yoda to the Jedi, okay, to Ahsoka, but technically Ahsoka isn't a Jedi, right? So what is she gonna do with the baby? Is she gonna keep it herself? She have other connections with other Jedi, Luke, Cal Kestis, Ezra. They're gonna kind of link up and see what's happening here because the people that are running the show, they're tuned into all this stuff, tuned into the whole canon. So the possibilities are endless. Maybe I'm in my own head or, as a fan or whatever, but like where it could be is super exciting. Like even midway through this episode, I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen next week? Or what's going to happen in Filoni's episode with Ahsoka? Like, what are the other characters going to happen? What they're going to, what backstory is going to be and stuff. So yeah, there's so much kind of possibilities of what's happening. And yeah, when they're on the, I did find a funny scene that when they're kind of before they're forced their way through to the cockpit of the Imperial ship, I did find like a Rogue One end of Empire-esque scene with all the kind of Imperials and the stormtroopers, like with their they're kind of hiding behind the crates, like waiting for something to come, and it was all the Mandalorians, um, yeah, kind of blasting their way through and stuff. So I did find a Rogue One kind of nod there. Um, but yeah, they've they blasted their fine, and then they've kind of they've kept him in the cargo control area. Um, so yeah, I found that funny that that was the one place that they could escape from. That was a bit unlucky for that guy. He thought he was clever, trapping the pirates and stuff. Um, but yeah, and then it seems to be um, we have a hologram, and
Of
then
Moff Gideon.
yes, yes. So again, there's another box ticked. So my three things, if you kind of go back on our previous episodes, my three issues were what's happening with Moff Gideon and Darksaber, what's happening with the Baby Yoda and Jedi, and what's happening with all these linked kind of rumored, partially confirmed characters that are appearing. Literally, they've all been confirmed this episode, so I absolutely loved it. Yeah, and then the man in the man in black kind of obviously threatens Bo Katan first before we get the message from Moff Gideon, who tells him, you know what you need to do. You're not getting assistance. What did you think he was going to do? Did you have any inkling to what he was going to do there? Because I thought that quite surprising, like shooting the pilots like that, and I had no idea what he meant, or like I
Oh,
presume
I
that
knew
it was some
exactly
kind
what
of
he was.
suicide mission,
No, I knew it
but I
was
didn't know
suicide
like
initially. No, I knew it was suicide, and that's protocol.
sacrifice yourself
Yeah,
kind of for
that's
the yeah
protocol. I'm pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm pretty sure we've seen discussed in like Lost Stars and
Mhm.
other like the Battlefront books. Is just like how serious some of these Imperial people took this. Um, it's it's very very hard to like feel that like as and then you see it on Bo-Katan's face like she's or you don't see it because behind the mask, but you can feel the emotion in her reaction to him
Mhm.
taking the electronic cyanide. And it was clear that this was not part of the plan. Like we got in, it feels like they got in their way for a while and they were almost where she wanted. And the
Yeah.
second she mentions the dark saber, it's on. But Den doesn't hear any of that, of course. Nor does he
Yeah.
know what the dark saber is because he didn't see
No.
that.
Yeah, he didn't see that. I was thinking. But yeah, like as soon as she wants her saber back, I was like, yes, because she can't rule without it, like she's saying. Um, but yeah, it's a harsh thing for the pilots. They got killed. I think they kind of maybe knew as well because they looked at each other, didn't they? Like, oh, this means suicide, or this means some kind of we're going down. Um, but yeah, she's kind of asking him for the dark saber. Do you know where it is or what's happening? And he obviously does that suicide thing. And again, this is a Disney Plus show. Like I'm like, whoa, like they're going hard on this. So loving the violence this episode because we haven't been getting that on the TV series previously. So yeah, they're going in, so they're not holding back. Um, but yeah, and then Dinjarin finally finds out where the Jedi are. Learns about Ahsoka Tano. Um,
So Corvus is
like
not a
this was
planet in any Star Wars database. Corvus
yes.
is the name of a ship
Okay.
from Battlefront 2, actually,
Okay.
which is interesting. So we'll see. Maybe Bo Katan possibly leading him astray a little bit just to
Hmm.
send him down. With didn't give him, he gave, she might give him a lot of right stuff, but not in the right order.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll
Oh yeah, he's
see.
gonna get a side mission surely before he sees
Oh, well,
Ahsoka,
of
right?
course.
So
We know the next episode's directed by Carl Weathers, so we're gonna
mhm.
see the return of Carl Weathers as Grief Karga.
Cara
Grief
Dune surely.
Karga, you're one of the most famous bounty hunters in the galaxy. The first part was pretty good. I tailed off at the end. And then Cara Dune, and we'll see a return to that as well.
Yep.
Um, we'll see what happens in the next episode. I don't expect to, but I probably expect him to get. He might get a new ship in the next episode.
Maybe yeah, because they didn't do a good job at
It did
all.
not do a good job of fixing
Absolute
that
botch
ship.
job. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolute botch job. He paid him, and
a lot of duct tape.
yeah,
A lot of
and
duct tape, Mon Calamari duct tape, and some squid thing that they left behind. Almost
yeah.
killed the baby. Jerks.
Exactly, exactly. But I did find that scene surreal when she took her helmet off and she's telling Din Djarin to find Ahsoka Tano. Um, Yeah, like from that moment, I think I actually paused it and thought, "Oh my god, like where can this go? Like, where's Ezra?
Anywhere.
Where's Luke? Yeah, exactly. Where's Ezra? Where's Luke? Like, are they gonna look for like Jedi temples? Like, what are they actually gonna do with the Baby Yoda? Like, what's the
Cal
end
Kestis
goal?
could be here.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah. So there's like endless possibilities. Like, absolutely. Yeah, it just makes you wonder. And like, this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm. Okay, yeah, great. That because the general consensus after, I'd say, after the Rise of Skywalker and this and after the season one finished of Mandalorian, the general consensus I would say from the fan base was, oh yeah, I want kind of new Star Wars, but let's move away from the kind of legacy characters, or let's move away from what things that we've seen before, characters that we've seen before, which is you know which is fair. But I am calling for you people need to be quiet now because now we have Dave
I
Filoni
think that there's a difference,
and
though.
John. Okay,
There's a
but what I'm
difference.
saying is, what I'm saying, no, I don't mean that literally. I mean, what
No,
I'm
no,
saying
no,
is,
no, 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 I'm not talking no, no, those people can still be quiet.
yeah,
But, what I'm talking about is how this handling of things could have been applied to the movies, and we would not have had these reactions.
mm,
There's things set up all through these shows, all through these movies,
yeah,
that if you want to explain stuff, man, like there's all these different things that they've done, the world between worlds, all this stuff that they've created in this universe that are canon,
because
just get
now
thrown away. They just get thrown away.
Because if you were casual, obviously a lot of casual people watch The Mandalorian, of course, right? Or casual Star Wars fans, or just Disney fans or whatever, right?
98% of people aren't going to know what the hell just happened. They might have heard
Exactly,
of Ahsoka Tano
exactly. This
before.
episode, they're not going to have a clue who Bo-Katan is. They're not going to have a clue who Ahsoka Tano is, or what they're talking about, or even the Jedi. Some
Is
of them,
that
if they
that
haven't seen
girl
Star
from
Wars,
Battlestar?
exactly. Or is
What?
that guy from Lost, or is he
What
from
the
Deadwood or whatever?
what?
Yeah,
What?
exactly. But this is tying in to the other lore that we have in Star Wars that we've built, that we've invested in for 40 years. It's bringing in, a couple of episodes ago, we had Boba Fett in. This is Katie Sackhoff's been in Star Wars for 10 years and Ahsoka, the longer than 10 years, right? So it's bringing these things back, these legacy things, these, the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, the Lucas era is coming now in 2020. It's all kind of circling back, with Favreau and Filoni at the helm of it.
This is the
Um,
Filoni era.
yeah. So this kind of notion of, oh yeah, let's move forward, but I don't want to see any character. No, no, like no. This is the Star Wars is this. Star Wars is the moving the story forward or being respectful of the past and bringing the story themes and ties in, and that's what it's about. And I absolutely love it, and that's what I'm here for. And now that we're finally getting the Jedi, because I remember I think in the summer at some point before. During lockdown or something, like Giancarlo Esposito doing kind of press for other stuff, might even be in Better Call Saul or something. He was saying that there is going to be epic lightsaber fights in this, like more than one lightsaber fight. So who's that going to be? Obviously, you can
Think
presume
he
it's,
can't follow a ship?
yeah, or you can
The
presume it
dude can
will,
track a ship.
yeah,
Like, let's not play
exactly.
around here.
So that's what I'm there for. I want to see who else. Because I think he made a point of epic lightsaber fights. So hopefully it's more than one, maybe more than one character. That would be great. So yeah, like just with this episode, just the possibilities are just got my teeth, salivating. Where's Luke? Where's Ezra? Cal Kestis? Is Moff Gideon force sensitive? If Ezra's back, where's Thrawn? All that kind of stuff, and with the
Where'd you get
Mandalorians with
this
their
Ezra
culture.
itch from? You just
I don't know
assume that you're gonna get an answer
because
because Ahsoka's gonna have to say that she's been doing something?
yeah, so she must, and Filoni as well, of course, like because we don't know that story. Where what's the kind of latest update with that story, or where that story is ended? It's left open ended, and they're not just going to leave it open ended, right? They're going to obviously bring that back at some point. It might be in the Mandalorian, it might not be, but I'm thinking if it's a good chance for for Filoni to put Ezra and the Rebels story kind of in the mainstream, because people will be confused, right? Like not confused, but they'll be wanting to know more about this character and Ahsoka as well. Like if like anyone who asks me about Ahsoka, I'm going to say you need to watch Rebels, you need to watch Clone Wars, right? And then they'll obviously watch that stuff. So if you did the same with Ezra, it could bring more eyes to that and more attention to the bigger canon and bring more
All right,
casuals
let's
in.
play a game.
Okay.
I say 4% chance that you see Ezra in The Mandalorian this season. And then a 68% chance that you hear Ezra's name.
Okay. I would say similar-ish. So in terms of seeing him, I would say higher. I'd say like 40 is probably high. I'd say like 30% chance of seeing him because, for example, we've already seen Rex. We've already seen, sorry, Rex. What's his name? Boba Fett, right? We've already seen Bo-Katan. We've already seen Ahsoka or heard Ahsoka, not seen her yet. The only other person that has been linked in terms of other canon character throughout kind of summer was Ezra, was this Raul Coley character, actor. So he's the only one that's left. I'm not sure if it will happen. I just to clarify, I don't actually think it will happen. I'm just kind of fanboying out here.
Did you see that he
Um,
built a Razor Crest out of Legos on Twitter?
he's a hardcore fan, man. He's always on squadrons. He's always kind of commenting on books or other kind of stories. He loves Rebels just generally. So yeah, he's an awesome individual, hardcore fan and stuff. But yeah, I think we will about, I'd say the same percentage about hearing his name. Um, yeah, I think that's more likely. But seeing, I'd say more, but I do think it's unlikely. Um, as well, we've also had, I don't know if it's now's the right time, but we have had some other kind of updates and news and stuff. If I can quickly run through that, if
Okay, go
that's
for it,
right.
man.
So, of course, the Lego Christmas special is coming next week. Um, so I think it's 17th, which is I think it's Tuesday, right? Tuesday,
Yep.
Christmas special. So yeah, that would be great. I don't know if we're gonna break it down on one of these episodes or we'll do something separate. Please leave a comment. Let us know if what you would like. But yeah, we can't wait to watch that. It seems super fun. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I have not watched the trailer.
Okay.
I will definitely give it a look see though.
Can we do? I know putting you on the spot. But do you want to do a live reaction to the
You want to do it
trailer?
right? You want to do it right now?
We do it right now. Yeah, because I've only seen it once. I'd like to see it again. So yeah, coming. It's got interesting. Well, I don't want to spoil it just before you watch it, but definitely interesting thing that's they're doing, and obviously it's always fun and C3PO is always funny in it, and Anthony Daniels plays C3PO, of course, as he always does.
Okay, let's see.
And of course, okay, I'll get to the rest after this, but that should be.
Oop, 1 second.
Yeah, looks good. I believe Billy D. Williams as well is playing Lando. I don't think a lot of the other cast are playing the original characters, but do you watch the?
Just for safety, for our safety, I am going to just play the video and I'll listen to the audio
Okay.
since you've seen it. Okay.
Ray, of course. Master Luke.
What?
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is definitely interesting. Yeah, so it's going to bring a lot of characters together. Yeah, Vader's always like really funny in it as well. These Lego things. Yeah, looks great. And a surprise, yes, yes. I forgot about that actually. it's tying in the whole trilogy, of course. So it looks like she's going back and forward in time. Um, yeah, so don't know how that's happening exactly. She's got some kind of
World
characteristic that
Between
allows her.
Worlds.
Could very well be. Could very well be. Um, it makes sense. Vader's the best one. Yeah, Vader's the best. I mean, yeah. I mean, that your
That's
reaction there.
sketchy.
That's what it's going to be like the whole way through. I mean, it's so
That's
funny. It's
sketchy.
so charming. Yeah. It's so. I mean, have you seen the? Are you familiar with kind of? Have you always kept up with the Lego properties
So
before?
I've played most of the games.
Hmm.
My brother's 10 years younger than me, so there was a couple of ones that we just played through just
They were
to
great.
play through
Yeah,
games.
yeah. The
Yeah, they
prequel
were
ones,
good fun.
fantastic. They were. Yeah, absolutely.
By the way,
Um,
they're a great first game just for kids in
yeah, yeah.
general. Because especially
To
like
keep up with the movies as well. It was a good way of.
that and just teaching you video games. They
Yeah,
push you through the levels. Like eventually they'll be like, "Hey, an arrow this way." It's like you need to go this way. And you're like,
super fun.
"Cool, great, thanks, appreciate it." It they're always awesome, and the jokes are usually more for like Star Wars fans, and there are
Hmm.
jokes for kids. The kids find stuff funny that like isn't necessarily the funniest stuff, but like at the
Yeah,
same time the Star Wars stuff is absolutely hilarious.
of
So
course.
I'm looking forward to that. My initial reaction is I'm very excited to see if they do the world between worlds, if that is how they explain this,
Good
because
shout. Yeah, I didn't think
that's
of that.
just look, if you're just gonna keep it on the down low, make sure not everybody knows, that's a good thing to do it with. I like
Yeah.
that. Um, any other news?
Yes, the obviously the certain point of view Empire Strikes Back book is out.
Oh
Um,
yes.
I haven't obtained a copy yet, but I shall be very soon. So look out for that, review. Who I'm sure we'll do one. I'm presuming you haven't got one
No,
yet.
I need to reserve it at the library.
Okay, I'll probably get an audiobook. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh,
because yeah, I know that is out. I do love a good audiobook. Um,
see if it's available on audiobook for me.
yeah, on well, I don't want to kind of name a website, but yeah, there is there. The It got really good reviews.
If
Obviously,
Audible would like to sponsor this
I think
podcast,
yes, they do.
we would love to be sponsored by Audible,
Of
a
course,
great place to get your audiobooks. Smile.
definitely. Um, yeah, that looks good. It's got really good reviews. Obviously, there's some epic scenes in Empire Strikes Back. So the certain point of view elements. I mean, did you see the first one? The first
Yes.
Empire Strikes Back. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I've heard some
Oh,
really good ones here. And yeah, just my last point was
here's the
that
book available to borrow right now from the library app that I have. It is on my phone. Boom. I
how
have the
much is
book.
it, by the way? Just out of interest.
It's free. So this is my public library. The public library here has an
Oh,
app
okay.
that I can
Okay,
go in
cool.
and just read
Oh, and it's in the
books.
library. Okay, cool.
And now it's just they had one copy available and now I have it for 21 days. So I
Nice.
will be back. Maybe we'll do little reviews of each story. I'll read a story. Boggs reads a story. We'll check on back in because I really enjoy this medium that they're doing where they're
Like
giving
behind the scenes, right?
yeah, a
So
bit behind the scenes. I'm interested to see what I mean. My favorite stories of the A New Hope one is learning more about Obi-Wan and
yeah, and Qui-Gon. Yeah,
Qui-Gon,
definitely.
all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and what else is in the cave? Like,
Mhm,
maybe Yoda go in the cave? Like,
mhm,
what does Yoda see when he goes in the cave? Does he see the horrors of the Jedi Temple? Um, it opens up it's just a world of possibility. And with all these new faces coming into Star Wars, you're just going to see new voices. With faces come new voices.
mm,
So I'm excited to see maybe Pedro Pascal writes a story for Return of the Jedi, or what about Boba Fett? Like,
mhm.
that's talk about some stuff. That's a
Yeah.
great way to tell a story about Boba Fett is in the Return of the Jedi, a certain point of view story, and maybe just let Dave Filoni go to town for 15 pages and see what happens. Really connect um, what happened to him and separate that story from Cobb Vanth and quit with like they're the same person stuff because it's clear to us now that they're not.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm super excited now. Now I got something, it's honestly
Yeah,
it's like
you got it.
not to break the mold or anything. It's like the perfect bathroom book. Just leave that thing in the bath. It's like perfect time. It's like you just it's like, oh, it's perfect. Doesn't take too much. You don't you just gotta focus on one story at a time. And I just love that it honors the story.
Definitely.
It
It's
honors the
people
tone.
who write this stuff are so knowledgeable about, even the like the side characters, the locations, like the themes, like that they're so tuned in. You could tell like there's massive teams that go into these stories.
It's a
So yeah,
$31 book
it's $31. Okay.
at Target, and then it's $41 on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll get the audiobook just because it's I like the kind of, I think we mentioned it before, the music, the sound editing, the
Mhm.
sound mixing, that kind of stuff. It kind of puts me in the world a bit more. Um, so yeah, I'll probably do that. Just the last story I wanted to cover was just there's kind of a lot of leaks and rumors about the Lucas's basically episode 7, 8, and 9
Mm.
kind of plots and story themes. So the main three themes I'll run quickly through with you is, so basically Maul. So he's obviously wrote this after Revenge of the Sith, right?
Right.
So Maul was going to return as the main villain. So
Correct.
he was always returning, right?
Right.
Obviously, he's addressed it in Clone Wars, but he was going to be the kind of main villain, main Sith, kind of or dark side user in the sequel trilogy. Okay, Luke was going to rebuild the Jedi Order, um, which obviously he partly done anyway, but we didn't get to see that. But obviously, we would see his apprentices, things like that. And the last point being, somehow, some way, I don't know how exactly, and Leia was going to be the chosen one, in
Correct.
terms of, in terms of what, bring balance to the force and all that. I don't know how that would have worked out exactly, but because there's forever debates obviously of whether it's Luke or Anakin, or I think obviously Lucas, I believe, has officially confirmed it is Anakin. But it's a fun debate to have, and you can see points on either side. Obi-Wan in Rebels does obviously could say two more that Luke is the, obviously it's a bit of ambiguity the way he said it, but he did say Luke, Maul asked him, is he the chosen one? He said, yes, he is. So, there's kind of a little bit up in the air, but it's a fun debate to have. But yeah, your thoughts on the kind of Lucas plot points for the sequels?
Yeah, I always just want to hear it from his mouth, and I know the book is kind of getting into that. That's kind of,
Mhm.
I mean, that's what we're gonna eventually start to see is leaks and little bitty cracks start to open up a bit. I'm a bit more excited to see what um what lessons are taken from this,
Yeah.
especially just from Filoni. Sounds like something he would have done. Because Maul is still there. Maul is still there, and obviously Maul was a character they were both fascinated with. Maul was a
Mhm.
character they both cared about, probably saw a bit of themselves in, and Filoni took it and ran, and Filoni's still running with it, and if it hasn't stopped. We know where
Mm.
Maul's story ends, but there's still more to tell. There's still more things to be revealed.
Mhm.
Um, I'm excited to see where he goes with it. I'd love to see a new book. A Maul book would be fascinating. Totally done by Sam Witwer on audio.
Good shot.
Free idea, Star Wars, Lucasfilm.
Anyone who's listening. Yeah.
Anyone who's listening, free idea. You're
Yes.
welcome. But and then when it comes to the Leia stuff, yeah, I always figured that anyways. Just seemed like the right move, especially after like it seems so natural after Yoda saying, "No, there is another."
Yeah.
Like it seems so natural that eventually it would be her. Um, it'd just be interesting to see how he would have done it for sure. But mm, after the production stories of the prequel trilogy, I don't know if it'd be healthy for George Lucas to have that much power and that much control again, unless he was with Filoni and Filoni was there and Favreau was there the whole time and he came
Mm.
in as more of just like a, oh yes, that's nice. It's just a little
The
Sherpa, right?
advisor or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Hand of the King. More well, no, that's a bad example. Hand of the King usually does more
Yeah.
than
I
the
think
king.
he'd overthrow
Yeah, he'd
the
overthrow
king.
immediately. Overthrow immediately.
But yeah,
Um,
it's no,
it's
no, I
interesting.
agree. Definitely,
That's
I
cool.
agree. But yeah, it's I'd personally love to have Lucas back. He's getting up there in age. Um, so I'm pretty sure they won't have him back. But yeah, I mean, just his as a storyteller, he's one of the greatest I've ever seen. Um, so yeah, him having him back, having everything I've seen from the kind of rumored stuff that he wrote or gave over to Disney for the sequel trilogy, I thought was great. So I'd love to see his version of the sequel trilogy or some kind of other story about that. But whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. And yeah, just the last story that I found was um, basically Mandalorian season 3 is confirmed for 2021. So it
You
is
mean
coming out
because it's
next year.
already done? They've already
Yeah,
finished. It's already
exactly. Yeah, but that's good. Like, it's good. Thankfully, they have finished, and it's not delayed due to production issues or whatever. They can just now do their post production and come out, in what, November again next year. Um, but yeah, happy that was confirmed. So this is coming every year, right? So it seems great. Um, but yeah, I think you mentioned it last week that it seems like, I know it's a majorly complex show with great effects and stuff, but it's just such a basic show, in terms of doing it in front of these screens that they have. The Void, I think it's called. Getting the actors in, doing the scenes, putting the effects in. That's it. It's done. Like, it's this is like the only thing this year that kind of, since obviously the pandemic's happened and lockdown and stuff.
COVID proof. The show
Yeah,
is
it's
pandemic
brought
proof.
the world. It's a worldwide event that we've not had from any kind of movie or TV franchise since, what, February,
And it's
March.
even bigger because, like you've mentioned before, your watch was delayed.
Yes.
And so now we're all together. The world is unified. We
Yeah.
just had Disney Plus anniversary yesterday after when we're filming
Oh,
this,
was
and
it a year? Well,
it's
okay,
been a
I
year
didn't
already
realize.
for
Yeah.
us over here in the States. And yes, I mean that we've had a year of this. And that's I mean, it's crazy to me that this show is as big as it is. But Dave has found a beat. John has found the tone, and they're making beautiful music right now. And we just got to sit back and listen. Sometimes Led Zeppelin songs were 10 minutes long. Sometimes they were 5 minutes long. Sometimes they were 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
That you just got to take it with what it is. And I don't think my brain could have handled 10 more minutes of this episode. And I don't know where
Yeah.
the 10 more minutes would have been.
Exactly.
Honestly, I don't know where it would have been. I've already watched it twice. I just can't, it just,
It seemed like a really long one. Like, at one
because
point.
so much happened.
Exactly, exactly. So much happened and moved the plot along. There was great action. The child was great. The effects were great. The music was great. This one, absolutely loved it. So yeah, it was a great episode 3. I can't wait for next week. And that Filoni episode of the one that he's directing, episode 5 as well. Electric stuff. The potential is amazing for this show. And yeah, another great Mandalorian episode. That's the main event worldwide of releases and stuff. So glad Star Wars is on top.
Well, it's Friday, so this is the only place you're gonna find us today. It's a big Schmodown Throwdown pay-per-view,
Hmm.
so you know that at 7 o'clock, probably more like 6:30 Eastern, you're gonna find the Ultimate Schmodown show live, getting ready for Jen Kemp versus Video Drew, followed by the breakup match of Josh McCouga and Elliot Dewberry. Only one Barry walks away. And we're going to review the Category 9 versus Odd Couple match that also dropped this week as well. So, folks, if you don't know what the heck we just talked about, go
Yeah.
find the Schmodown. That's how we met. And if you want to know our meet cute. But this has been We Have the High Ground. Boggs, where can the folks find you at home?
Yes, find us on the PCU network, the Popcorn Universe, all things
Pop
there.
Culture
Pop
Universe.
Culture Universe, sorry. Our Twitter, it will be dropping very soon, the Twitter handle. So please follow that for updates and other shows that are coming as well very soon. Follow us on the Ultimate Shmonar Show. And yeah, please like this video. It's getting us up there with views and stuff. Thank you so much for coming along with us. Yeah, feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But please like the video. That'll It's free to do so, and that'll do us the kind of world of good. So thank you so much for tuning in. Been a pleasure, and can't wait to discuss all things Star Wars next week.
Well, folks, we'll be back next week with hopefully a bit more to discuss when it comes to the overall Star Wars universe and how this little beautiful story with a little beautiful child relates to it all. I'm Colin Morris, and remember, folks, we have the high ground. See you next time. Boom, boom, boom.